Happy New Year! And we are actually in the first week of January 2026. And we just wanted to say happy, healthy, wealthy, abundant, magical New Year to wish you all the best and to express our gratitude that you are with us, our fans, our people who are actually connecting with us, who are interacting with us. So this is all great. And if this is the first time you are tuning in, hello and welcome to our world. This is the podcast Passion Unscripted, where we talk unapologetically about love and sex and intimacy and everything what you might be shy to talk to your friend or somebody you know, you can definitely bring it our way because over here there are no filters. We love to talk about anything because that's why, all these topics exist, right? They wouldn't be here if they were all taboo. And just to give you a brief description, my name is Irina Portnova. I'm a manifestation star because I consciously teach people how to manifest great things in their life and how to focus the energy on something what you want rather than just spinning the same loops. And I'm here with Dina, who is my co-host. And Dina, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, a little bit. Before me introducing myself, I want to wish everybody a happy, prosperous 2026. And as you said, with the energy of gratitude for whatever brought you here, whatever happened in the past, being grateful and continue. That's the key. My name is Dina Alexander. As Irina just said, I do live on the island of Aruba, and I am a personal coach, a relationship coach, and a sex coach. And as Irina said, I'm going to say it once again. We want to talk about everything that usually people are afraid to talk, or they it's taboo, or and we bring it with very much respect and with sacredness. And we give you tips and tricks and invite you to join us for further help if it's needed.
I love that. And I just also wanted to mention see how beautiful our background is. We are still in festive season. Why? Because today is the last day of our Manifestmas, the giveaway, where we are offering Dina and myself and a few more amazing contributors are offering the free gifts. So we encourage each one of you just claim if you did not, because again, we always better when we know something, right? Again, knowledge is power, and when we know how to use that knowledge into our day-to-day life, it's even more better. We become the experts in our life because nobody was teaching us how to live the life, and that's exactly what we are doing in this giveaway. So today is the last day to claim your gift, so don't forget. And in the holiday spirit today, we are coming up with the fun topic being ghosted isn't rejection, it's a redirection. And this is something, as always, Dina comes up with these topics. And let's just talk a little bit, right? Because it's so important when we understand the pieces. A lot of times we just blame on ourselves. But the thing is, once we know, once we understand why we even go on a date, right? Because a lot of times people do it just for the heck of it. They do not realize that intentions are important. Like, what would I actually want to receive as a result if I go for the date or I meet with that person? What kind of vision do I have, right? Like, what is the end goal for it? So that's exactly what we are going to talk today about. All right, Dina, want to take it from there?
Yes, I will. Irina, it feels like something small, but it hits deep. Being
Mm-hmm.
ghosted. And that's why I came up with this topic. I started working the 2nd of January. And
Mm-hmm.
I had a client. She came in and she was desperate. She was ghosted. She hadn't heard about her. I don't she is married, and she and her husband decided they wanted to open their relationship. It works for them, no judgments. And
Mm-hmm.
she got to know someone special that was okay with that situation. But this person, all of a sudden, and they were going out for a couple of months, and sexually they were on. All of a sudden, this person wasn't responding for 1 week. So that's the reason why I brought up this topic, being ghosted. Because being ghosted doesn't just end a conversation. In my client's situation, it left a silence where
Mhm.
answers should be. Okay?
Mhm.
It interrupted her momentum. It messed up her nervous system. And
Mhm.
she was careful. She came to me. I am her coach of way before, and she had me as support. But if you don't have someone, it can quietly turn into self doubt. And I immediately turn it around because she started saying, what did I do wrong with it? What did I say wrong? Did I come on too strong? She's a strong woman. Was I not interesting enough? She's a mature woman. Did I imagine the connection? Did I imagine the connection of, or
Mhm.
wasn't there any connection? So she started self-doubting. And that's the episode of today. It's not about analyzing their behavior. It's about reclaiming your power if you are in this situation. Because what if ghosting isn't rejection? What if it's redirection? Let's
Mhm.
explore it together. So, did I open up something in you, Irina?
Yeah, this is so good because again, and I think we already touched it on other episodes when we were saying when something doesn't work out, right? And men usually are the ones who are voicing it very boldly. A woman is the one that constantly like trying to keep things together, right? So when something doesn't work out for men, they are like very easy just to voice it out and exit out, right? So the point is that we do not have to take it personally because it's never about us. It's about that other person. That person has his own fears, his own self doubt, maybe even the issues with self love. And that's why they cannot express. Because to me, openness is everything, right? First of all, we are talking about ghosting, but sometimes even when man says that, like, I'm out of the relationship, a lot of times it happens because they do not know how to deal with that and they do not know how to sit in discomfort. And it
Yes.
actually happens not only in the love and relationship area, it actually happens in every other area. Because remember, the way we handle the things in one area of our life, this is the way we are handling everything in our life.
Amen. Yes.
Mhm.
So, Irina, I'm going to touch now the reason why ghosting hurts so much.
Mhm.
So, let's name the real wound here. Ghosting hurts not because someone left. People leave all the time.
Mhm.
It hurts because there was no ending, no
Mhm.
context, no closure, no conversation, no dignity. Your nervous system was mid connection. And suddenly the signal dropped it, and the
Mhm.
brain hates unfinished stories. So it fills the silent with self blame. And the ghosting triggers, just as what I was telling just now, it triggers abandonment wounds, it triggers attachment patterns, it triggers fears of being unchosen, it triggers hyper analysis, and it
Mhm.
triggers emotional looping. Not because you're weak, but because you are human. And instead of holding space for that pain, we often rush to make it mean something about us. Okay?
Mhm.
So if I continue ghosting, though ghosting is not feedback about your worth, because a lot of people think it's your value that the reason why that person ghosted you. This is important if you're listening to us at this moment. So ghosting does not tell you your value, your attractiveness, your desirability, your emotional capacity, your worthiness. Ghosting tells you something very specific. That person that ghosted you lacked the capacity for honesty, for
Absolutely.
communication, or present in that moment. That's it. Ghosting is about avoidance, not evaluation. Because if that person wanted to evaluate, that person would tell you, hey, we need to talk because this is not working for me, instead of ghosting. Emotionally available adults don't disappear, they communicate. And this would be important for you. And when someone exits without words, they are showing you a limit, not issuing a verdict on you. Okay? So I
Yes.
I touched a lot. So tell
Yes,
me.
I love what you are pointing out. Again, we want to stop blaming ourselves because, again, we cannot control other people's behaviors, other people, disappearing because, like you mentioned, right? Sometimes people get overwhelmed because they might not have the like the capacity, like you mentioned, to hold that happiness, to and our energy can feel very intense for somebody,
Yes.
right? But I think that there is always a lesson in everything what we go through. And in ghosting, actually, if we look at what is a good seed, right? Because I love to see, like what is good in that bad situation, right? Hey, Alice here. He said men often make rash decisions, where else women are more analytical in their relationships. True men ghosting more often than women. So true. Yes. So what I was trying to bring into the table is just to say, like I love to always look at the seed of good in any given, in any bad situation. So now let's take a look at ghosting. What is something that is actually great happening? The great thing is happening, it actually allows you to interrupt the emotional loop. Once the person ghosting you, you start understanding your attachment styles. It could be that the person was attached to unpredictability, maybe emotional distance, the hope of being chosen, or chasing clarity from unavailable partners. So this is actually stopping that emotional loop. So once we realize it and we say, okay, now I want to start choosing differently. What am I going to look at for my next partner, right? Maybe start noticing some early signs of the red flags so you are not repeating the same story, right? And again, if you hold your capacity and saying, my cup is full, and if somebody is not able to hold the full cup, then it's their problem. It's not my problem. And I, for instance, me personally, I would want to be only with somebody who can hold the full capacity. If they can't, why would I want to settle for something less than that?
Perfect. I love what you just said. So I loved what Al said also. However, Al, I wanted to add something in this particular client, that's the reason why I started this topic. In her case, a man ghosted her, but in a couple of months ago, I had another vice versa. I had a man, a woman ghosted a man. So I don't know if it's only men. Some women are also so unsure of themselves. So it really has to do with the person. Okay, so
Mhm.
I wanted to touch the dangerous things we do after being ghosted, because that's important for me. That's the reason why she came to me, because she was
Mhm.
afraid that she was going to do something very bad. Okay. So after being ghosted, many people abandon their standards. Okay,
Mhm.
she wanted to go and to his house and put him, because she's a very strong woman. He needs to answer her questions. So she abandoned her standard if she did that. Okay. Another thing that a lot of people do after being ghosted is they lower their expectations. Okay, for the next partner. They chase closure. That's what she wanted to do. Chase closure. They over explain in future connections. No, it has nothing to do with you. They become emotionally guarded. That happens with a lot of women also. They perform instead of express. So, this is where the real damage happens. Not when they disappear, but when you disappear from yourself, trying to
Mhm.
make sense of it. Ghosting tempts you to be easier, be less, ask for less, expect less. And that's the moment to pause. Because the lesson of ghosting is not how can I be more acceptable? No, it is where that I give access before alignment. That's what the question that you have to make. Where did you give access before alignment? Okay. You want me to continue or you have something to
Yes, I also wanted to add that clarity doesn't actually come from the answers. It comes from the vision. Because we think sometimes that closure comes from explanations, but answers are actually really inside of us, right? Because if when we are going into any kind of connection, we already have the vision. What kind of relationship do I actually want from this? How do I want to feel with someone? What level of consistency and presence that is matter to me? And does this connection align with where I'm going? When we have that vision in place, because that vision is going to give us the direction, and answers keep us circling in the past. So when we have our vision, it becomes the stronger, and it actually becomes the anchor. So this way we know exactly what kind of connection we are seeking. And again, we attract what we are, right? We do not attract what we want. So once we establish what kind of connection we want, then we have to mirror that person who does not, just settle for anything less, like you mentioned, like just keep your standards high, because sooner or later you are attracting that person. And just to me, it's like ghosting. It's like, for me, it's such a level of immaturity. And it doesn't matter how old the people are. Sometimes, people can be very, like in their 60s and still very much immature. So
yeah.
the point is, it just shows that that person really did not grow. So they
Yes.
really have to do some inner work. And that's why we exist in this world. So people can come and do the inner work so they don't hurt themselves and everybody around.
Yes, totally with you. Beautiful. Um, I love this part that I'm going to touch at this moment.
Mhm.
Ghosting as a pause and not a punishment. So if you are being ghosted at this moment, just as my client, look at it as a pause, because my client was looking at it as a punishment. So let's reframe this gently, okay? What if the silence isn't an insult, but a pause? A pause that asks, are you aligned with your visions? Is that person the one for you? And I'm certain that you all of a sudden will realize the universe just provided a gift. So another question that you should ask yourself during this pause: are your standards clear? Are you choosing from desire or from fear? Are you honoring your intuition or overriding it? So sometimes the connection ends not because it was it wasn't real, okay? But because it wasn't meant to continue from where you were standing. Redirection doesn't always come with a map. Sometimes it comes with a closed door. And we should be grateful. As I started saying when we started this session, we should be grateful for things that happened. I think you should be grateful that that door just closed because the universe knows what you need. So, Irina, tell me. I think this was heavy, heavy.
Yes, but again, it just bringing the light into the darkness, because again, it's all about shifting the perspective. Because how we look at things, they start looking differently, right? And I just wanted to say that we all have been ghosted one way or another in our life. Don't think that we, like somebody is special, somebody is just, like kind of avoids that. But it's okay. It has nothing to do about us, like we were just mentioning. It has to do about the insecurities or immaturity and incapacity to hold love, the feelings, and everything else for another person. And like I said, in these kind of situations, ask yourself, what do I want? What lesson is for me to learn, and how do I want it to handle it differently going forward, right? Because ghosting doesn't take your power; it actually reveals where your power belongs. So, not in chasing that clarity, not in feeling that silence, but in choosing the vision, the direction, and relationships that meet you with presence.
I love what you just said. We all have been ghosted. Yes. And
Mm-hmm.
it hurts. And you know what? I want to say this. We all have ghosted also. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
One way or the other. We ourselves, we have ghosted people. Okay? And I need to share something. Before me sharing, I will read what Al said. Experiences will turn our wisdom being
Yeah,
wiser.
life lessons make us smarter, right?
Yes, true. It's true. And when I teach people how to date and you use an app for dating, I use ghosting as the safest way when you recognize red flags and you haven't provided your personal information, because you are dating. You are not on an app to be a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a teacher or a mom of someone that already have shown you his or her red flags. And ghosting for me is a way for you to next. You're on the
Mhm.
app to date, not to heal people. So I do use ghosting. If you have not provided information, personal information, and there has been no connection, ghosting is the safest way. Okay. So what ghosting reveals about your standard, and we're talking about ghosting, and there has been connection already. You have been dating. You have been sexually active with this intimate, you have been making love. That this type of ghosting I'm talking about at this moment. So what reveals this ghosting reveals about yourself, your standards. Okay, here's the sassy truth. If someone can disappear without communication and has been sexually with you, has been making love to you, have been dating you, has shown you that deeper part, and you have shown them, they were never meeting your standards. Even if the chemistry was fire, they have not met your standards. Consistency is attractive. Communication is sexy. Clarity is hot. Ghosting shows you where the bar actually is, where your future will be if you continue. So instead of asking, why didn't they choose me? Ask, would I choose someone who handles endings this way? That question changes everything. Okay, so I think we have reached the end. So I think
Yes.
this is a beautiful
Yes.
ending.
I just wanted to say one more thing that you know, I always tend to go into the gratitude in the different kind of situations like that, right? And I think the gratitude in this scenario is to say thanks God we did not get to the point of, like being there for 10 years together or having kids together or, like living together, that person finally shows his true face, right? So thanks God it revealed so much earlier. So, like I can make a peace with that and I can just move on. And again, I know it's easier said than done, but that's why, the coaches are there for a reason, right? Because it's easy to handle. We were not meant to do this alone. And it's easy to handle any kind of hurt, any kind of wound, any kind of, confusion when you have somebody by your side because we do not see our blind spots and it takes another person to see something in us that we are able to actually bring to the light and just recognize our greatness. All right,
Yes.
thank you so much, Al, for joining. As always, happy new year. As always, it's great to see you with us. So we'll see you at another episode. Just comment if there is any particular topic you would like us to cover, and we'll be happy to do that. And for everybody else, reach out to us if you feel that like you are disagreeing with us. Would love to talk with you as well because like that the conversation happens from disagreement as well, and that's why we are here. So continue thriving, continue loving yourself, and being ghosted is just the experience. It has nothing to do with ourselves. Sending you lots of love and light. And Dina, you want to say something before we say bye?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay with what you just said.
All right. And anybody who did not claim the Manifestmas gift, please do so. Today is the last day. So allow yourself to start receiving from the beginning of the year. So this way you get comfortable in that energy and you can receive more compliments, more gifts, more flowers, and anything, whatever you want, more sex. All the best. All right. Love you all and see you on the next episode.